Hello everybody, my name is Juan. Today we are going to talk about my routine and my everyday activities. I like to listen to music and play video games. So I am going to tell you what I usually do on a regular basis. On Mondays, I wake up at 6 o'clock. But I get up at 6:15. Then I make my bed. I go to the bathroom. I take a shower every morning. I get dressed and I brush my hair. I have pancakes and a glass of milk for breakfast. Then I brush my teeth. I leave the house at 7:30. I wait for the bus. I go to school. I have lunch with my friends. I go back home. I wash my hands. And I have a snack. I do my homework. Sometimes I have dinner with my friend. I do the dishes. I play video games in the afternoon. I surf the net. And I go to bed at 10 every night. Now, I am going to tell you about my mother's routine. She gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then she prepares breakfast. She usually prepares eggs, bacon, bagels, and coffee. She has breakfast at 7:30. Then she brushes her teeth. She works out at the gym at 9 o'clock. She eats lunch at noon. She eats fruit and fish and chips. After lunch, she does the dishes. Then she takes a shower, brushes her hair, and does the laundry. She listens to music and reads. She goes to work at 2 o'clock. She has 3 classes in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock, she has dinner in the staff room. After dinner, she goes for a walk. She has 3 more classes in the evening, and then she gets up at 9 o'clock. She goes back home. When she gets home, she watches TV. Then she washes her face and brushes her teeth. She goes to bed after midnight. I described my personal routine and my mother's routine. To do so, we use grammar tense called present simple. When I say, she wakes up at 6 o'clock, I'm using present simple. To use this tense is very easy. We only need a subject, I, you, he, they, my mother, my teacher, the student, a verb, and a complement. She is the subject. Wakes up is the verb. At 6 o'clock is the complement. She wakes up at 6 o'clock. I get up at 7 o'clock. You get up at 7 o'clock. He gets up at 7 o'clock. She gets up at 7 o'clock. It gets up at 7 o'clock. We get up at 7 o'clock. You get up at 7 o'clock. They get up at 7 o'clock. As you can see, the only change occurs when we use he, she, it, what we call third person in singular. I can say, I work, she works. I dance, he dances. I play, it plays. There are some rules for the third person singular. Usually, we add an S to the verb. He reads every day. But there are some verbs ending which we add es or ies. For the following verb endings, ch, ss, sh, o, x, or zz, we add es. I watch TV. She watches TV. I guess the word. He guesses the word. I wash my face. She washes her face. I go to school. He goes to school. I fix the car. He fixes the car. I bus. She buses. When the verb ends in a consonant and Y, we change Y to an I and add ES. I study. She studies. But when the verb ends in a vowel and Y, we just add an S. I enjoy. He enjoys. For the verb have, the form is has. I have. She has. We usually use the present simple tense to talk about routines or everyday activities. But we also use the present simple to talk about general facts that are always true and permanent about the world. The earth goes around the sun. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Well, that is all for today. Thank you for coming. See you next time.